We have some breaking inputs coming in according to sources. In the meeting that was chaired by Defence Minister Rajnath Singh and attended by NSA Ajit Doval and the Indian Air Force Chief was also present in that meeting. There was a discussion related to the issue as far as security situation in Jammu Kashmir is concerned, and we are given to understand that 3 to 4 options were discussed in the meeting, contours of the Make Park Pay plan. Right ahead of the crucial CCS meeting, and further details are going to be discussed in the CCS meeting is what we're given to understand. 3 to 4 options were discussed, and these options are going to be presented to Prime Minister Narendra Modi. This is the exclusive information that we have accessed. Constructive action plan will be discussed in the CCS meeting. So 3 to 4 options have already been planned and discussed in the meeting that was held between Raksha Mantri Rajnath Singh, NSA Ajit Doval, and the Indian Air Force Chief also attended that meeting. This is the inside scoop. The details that we are accessing from that meeting. Preparedness of the forces have also been discussed in the meeting, and all these options are going to be presented in front of Prime Minister Narendra Modi in the CCS meeting. Pradeep Datta is getting us more details, and the top priority of the government is that to come up with a plan of action. That's exactly what the people of this country want from the government. Pradeep, can you hear me?
Yes, you're absolutely right, because right now the government is totally focusing on plan of action, because that's one of the reasons that we saw that urgency in case of the Prime Minister also yesterday. The moment he got to know about this attack, immediately he got in touch with Home Minister Amit Shah. He asked him to visit Kashmir Valley immediately, review the situation there, and we saw that within 24 hours, Amit Shah was there on the spot and where actually attack took place. And now there was a meeting in which Rajnath Singh and other senior officers were present, and during that meeting, they discussed about that they need to have some of the Rashtriya Rifle unit on standby, and they're trying to see that our forces are well prepared for any kind of a scenario, because last time when there was an Uri attack, after that there was a surgical strike conducted by our troops, and same case we saw during the Pulwama bombing also, there was another surgical strike. So they are trying to look at the preparedness of the forces, and accordingly the strategy will be devised, and that will be devised during the CCS meeting. So during CCS meeting, before going for that meeting, they are going to discuss each and everything so that they have everything there on the table, and accordingly the strategy will be devised, and they are going to hit out these Pakistan and proxy where it is going to hurt them most. So it's all about well prepared strategy that will be devised to see that Pakistan's proxies are not able to raise their ugly head, and never ever the Indian tourists have to face any kind of a problem in Kashmir Valley.
Absolutely. Like I said, plan of action is what people want to see. And 3 to 4 options we're given to understand, Pradeep, were discussed in the meeting, and there's going to be a detailed discussion on that in the CCS. 3 to 4 options are going to be presented to Prime Minister Narendra Modi of how India plans to make Pakistan pay for this. All right, Pradeep, if you can hear me now, this is what we're given to understand. 3 to 4 options were discussed in the meeting, which are going to be presented in front of Prime Minister Narendra Modi when the CCS meeting happens, in terms of the action that will be taken now to ensure that strictest punishment is given, and that Pakistan is made to pay for this.
Yes, you're absolutely right, because one thing is quite clear, that India is going to take a very strong and firm stand this time, and that's one of the reasons that Prime Minister immediately cut short his visit and came over to India. He did not waste time. The moment he was at the airport, that was the time when NSA as well as we have seen that the foreign minister were present there, and he was briefed by the NSA what really had happened. Immediately after that, we saw that there had been a series of meetings, and during that meeting, several things had already been discussed, because now it is the time for the plan of action. They have reviewed the security scenario. They have tried to ensure that the confidence of the people is not shattered. They have already, we have seen the Home Minister was there on the spot. So now they are going to have different strategies. What exactly can be done? It can be surgical strike, it can be something else, but the strategy will be discussed on the table once the CCS meeting will be there. But one thing is clear, that they are going to hit hard Pakistan where it is going to hurt them most, because they will not allow Pakistan and Pak proxies to once again raise their ugly head. They had been taught the lessons in 2016. They were taught lesson in 2019. I think somewhere they seem to have forgotten this thing. And once again, it's the high time that India will have to initiate a strong action. It is for that Prime Minister Narendra Modi is going to cheer a beating. It will be like, already as I said earlier also, chun ke marenge, ghar mein ghus ke marenge, anything can be done. That will, on these two things, actually their strategy will be revolving around.
Stay on with us. Bleed India with 1,000 cuts. Those were the words that defined Pakistan's military doctrine in the 1980s. And today that doctrine doesn't echo from history. It rings out from Pahalgam. April 22nd, 2025. 27 innocent lives lost in a terror carnage in Kashmir's Pahalgam. A tourist spot turned into a massacre site. And as the meadows were stained red, Pakistan armed, Pakistan backed and Pakistan sponsored terrorists captured it all because they were strapped with body cams. They wanted to send proof of their monstrosity to their terror bosses sitting in Pakistan. Sources tell Times Now that the butchers were armed with AK-47s and M4 carbines. Two Pakistani terrorists spoke in Pashto and two others, locals from Bijbehra and Tral, operating on the commands of NI's most wanted Saifullah Sajid. A Lashkar commander, Saifullah Jatt, is a protege of Hafiz Saeed and a product of the ISI's factory of terror. If you think he was operating in isolation like a lone wolf, think again. He was just the executor, backed, briefed and bankrolled by the Pakistani army, whose chief General Asim Munir recently called Kashmir Pakistan's jugular. The Pakistani army chief wears a uniform but commands a rogue army of terror backers, and as India mourned her dead, do you know what happened in Ankara? Pakistan's Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif thanked Turkey's Erdogan for his unwavering support on Kashmir issue. It's all falling in place, isn't it?